My name is Michael Yusingco, and I am a Senior Research Fellow of the Ateneo Policy Center in Metro Manila. In this short video, I will talk about the response of the Philippine government to the COVID-19 global pandemic. I will also share some insights that may be pertinent to constitutional law scholarship. As of 19th of May, the Philippines is dealing with 12,942 coronavirus cases with 837 recorded deaths. Unfortunately, the country is not faring well compared to the other nations in the region. The Philippines now has the highest fatality rate and the lowest recovery rate in ASEAN. 2 days ago, the presidential spokesperson announced that the government has currently no program for mass testing in place and that they are leaving it up to the business sector to provide testing for their employees. Of course, arguably the worst news of all is about the economy incurring huge losses because of the lockdown order given by President Duterte, which has been in place now for more than 2 months. The fact is, by law and by executive directives, command and control over the crisis is virtually centralized in the office of President Duterte. While constitutional rights and civil liberties still remain the norm, and civil society is still free, except for the moment with limited physical mobility, it must be mentioned that there have been glimpses of authoritarianism in the way President Duterte and his administration have managed this national health crisis. For instance, immediately after the president declared a national public health emergency in the 8th of March, one of his most loyal lieutenants in government boasted in a radio interview that human rights and habeas corpus are no longer binding rules. This assertion was met by a howl of protest from various civil society organizations, prompting another senior official in the same department to assure the public that the 1987 Constitution, specifically the Bill of Rights, is still in full force. The most newsworthy of these glimpses of authoritarianism was President Duterte's "shoot them dead" declaration during a television address, pertaining to how the police should treat recalcitrant violators of his lockdown order. Many Filipinos found this remark appalling because it disregards the reality that a significant portion of Metro Manila's population really have to go out of their homes to work to ensure their day-to-day survival. And so there was a strong social media backlash which compelled the head of the Philippine National Police to clarify that this statement from the president was just an exaggeration and that no police personnel will ever have a shoot-first mindset in enforcing the lockdown. Now, just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, President Duterte again threatened in his regular public address to put the Philippines under a martial law-like lockdown. He was reacting to reports of increasing number of citizens flouting his community quarantine order. Now, law enforcement this time took this as a signal to deploy more policemen to guard checkpoints and to execute many arrests to ensure strict compliance of the lockdown order. And once again, there was a social media pushback claiming that this kind of a setup is actually now like an undeclared martial law or an unconstitutional martial law, which the Philippine uh, the Filipino people will not countenance. And therefore, the government again was forced to assure or to make assurances that this is not the case. For constitutional law scholarship, I think the most interesting takeaway is how civil society plays a key role in ensuring that there are only glimpses of authoritarianism in the way President Duterte has used his emergency powers. Civic activism is so evident online because the lockdown has afforded millions of social media savvy Filipinos the time and opportunity to closely monitor government action in this global pandemic. Without a doubt, this powerful and swift pushback from citizens or netizens has been a very potent check and balance mechanism. The reality is, Filipinos are social media savvy. They spend about 9 hours in the internet, 3 hours of which they spend in social media. Furthermore, politicians have shown in this health crisis that they are sensitive to social media pushback and that they are willing to change or reconsider their positions because of social media backlash. Now, I see this as a significant development for constitutional scholars to study further. Now, the reason for this is civic activism in the digital environment should move us to revisit our understanding of free speech and press freedom. Technology, the regulation and policing of the internet, and the principles of digital citizenship, all of these will influence our understanding of free speech and press freedom. Knowing how and to what extent will be crucial for social media Filipinos or social media savvy Filipinos. The 1987 Constitution is popularly known as the People Power Constitution. The reason for this is it is a product of the 1986 EDSA People Power Revolution. Now, this was a manifestation of direct citizen action that ousted the dictator Ferdinand Marcos. For me, the civic activism displayed by Filipinos in this national health crisis is an invitation, maybe even a challenge, to look at this pedigree of the Constitution again, to reflect on the power of citizen engagement to ensure good governance. Moving forward with this mental framework could lead the country to a better situation than where it was before COVID-19. That's it for now. Thank you for listening. Keep safe.